As the prayer was going, suddenly the pain disappeared, and I really felt a peace in my heart, which is something that I've never felt since I was born. As I was growing up, I've always had this in my heart to say, it seems like it's really not me who's living, I'm living someone's life. And since that interactive prayer, that's when I felt like I'm being connected to the real me. That's when I had control of my heart.
You devil! Wherever you are operating in their lives, your time of deception has come to an end. Your time of stealing, killing, and destruction has come to an end. I command you, devil, to leave right now. Leave with your bondage. Leave with your sickness. Leave with your nightmares. Leave with your pain. Leave with your depression.
My name is Lonwabo, and I'm connecting from South Africa. The person next to me is my lovely wife, Tumediso Pongo. And the reason I joined the interactive prayer with Brother Chris, I had a problem with excessive anxiety. I was suffering from this problem for over 18 years, back in the days when I was still in tertiary school. One thing that I remember vividly, when I had this challenge, I stopped going to church, and that was because I had a fear that I just couldn't control over losing my bursary, because our studies were funded by a bursary scheme. So there came a point when I was going through my studies, I felt like the time that I spent going to church, attending church services, that was actually taking much of my time, and I wasn't focusing enough in my studies, and therefore I was afraid that I was going to lose my bursary, and that would have meant I wouldn't be able to continue with my studies. So that's just how the problem affected me from when I was back at the tertiary school. And also, this problem persisted because, by the grace of God, when I completed my studies, after 5 years of study, I was now ready to begin a new job. So one thing that was strange with my situation, I think for anyone, when they start their new job, there is the excitement of getting a new job, getting a sustainable means of making a living. But my situation was a little bit different, in a sense that I was overwhelmed by fear that what the people that I'm joining in this new job, what would they think of me, of my competency? Am I competent enough? Am I the right fit for the position? So I was just overwhelmed with questions that I couldn't really answer, and that added a lot of frustration, and the focus wasn't really on me starting the new job. I felt uneasy with the whole situation of the new job. As I was going through over the years with the experience, so when I got promoted to a management position, so the position itself obviously brought additional demands in terms of accountability and responsibilities. And I was still having this problem. So it actually made it more intensive with the additional note, because there was so much expected at work, and I was still battling with this excessive anxiety. So it gotten worse around 23 last year. I was now having a lot of headaches also that I couldn't control, and then I started taking some general pills to try just and easy the pain and to just get me going through the days. But really, that didn't seem to be a permanent solution. And then I got to a point where I was referred to a specialist, a psychiatrist, by our family doctor. That's where I actually was the first time I was diagnosed as excessive anxiety. That was around April last year. And then in that process, I was then put into a treatment, 3 week treatment, where I was taking some medication that was aimed at helping me to try and recover from this anxiety. But I did not really end up finishing that treatment session because there were side effects. Like I used to feel dizzy at work. And it used to change my mood, and I was not myself. I would react very awkwardly, especially if I'm if I'm among people. So I decided to discontinue the program. And I was really looking for a solution that will help me, and I didn't have any at the time. This problem, it really impacted not only my career, but also my family as well. Because when I was going through the phases where I was being frustrated by the work demands and I couldn't really find solution, even professional solution to the problem, I end up drinking. And in the process, I was also fornicating and thinking that this would alleviate the situation and to help. But that really didn't help. But instead, it really threatened my marriage with my wife. And I wasn't really playing the role of a father figure to my kids as well. And I wasn't really supportive to my wife at the time. And really, it broke trust between myself and my wife, that my wife couldn't trust me. And it was really a very devastating situation that the problem put us through. Every area of my life was not stable, in a sense that I couldn't even make and sustain good friendship with people. I was in isolation. So by the grace of God, I joined the interactive prayer. I think it was the 6th of May, 2023. During the prayer session, I had a sensation, a pain right at the back of my neck. In my heart, I really asked God for His mercy. I asked God to see me through, as Brother Chris was praying. I asked God to forgive my sins. And as the prayer was going, suddenly the pain disappeared, and I really felt peace in my heart, which is something that I've never felt since I was born. As I was growing up, I've always had this in my heart to say, it seems like it's really not me who's living, I'm living someone's life. And since that interactive prayer, that's when I felt like I'm being connected to the real me. That's when I had control of my heart. And I really thank God for that. There has been a significant change in my life, not only in my family, but also in my career, because around June, I was demoted, going through the very situation that I was demoted at work. And it was really a devastating situation where I was asking myself, as young as I am, my wife and the kids, where are we going to do? That's when we had no options. We couldn't know what to do, but we soldier on in that period. So as I was demoted, signed a letter in June. By the grace of God, in October of the same year, 2023, I was promoted to actually a more senior position than the previous one where I was demoted. So really, I thank God for that. The other issue I used to battle with, I used to feel in isolation, even when you walk around the mall, even when you have to deliver speech, because my position is very demanding. At times, I deliver speech to directors, more senior people. So the problem really affected me as well from my self-esteem, self-confidence. That was a bit of an issue, and that really dimmed the performance that or all the effort I could bring to the table. But after the prayer, I really gained control. I can really deliver a very informative and a welcome presentation with the directors and management in my company. And even walking around mall before the interaction prayer, when I go with my wife to town, I would always rush them so that we get back home, because I felt like everyone is just looking at me and there's something wrong I'm doing. And now all of that is things of the past, because I'm myself, I'm in control of my heart by God's grace. So even going to the mall, that is no longer a problem for me. I can express myself freely, and I really thank God for that. My relationship with my family has improved. Most importantly, we are going to church with my wife and kids, and I really taking the responsibility as a father. I am there for my kids. I am supporting my wife with the kids, and our life affairs has really improved. I'm there for her when she needs me, and I support her in every area of our life.
My name is Dumedisa Pongo, and I'm connecting from South Africa. The man beside me is my husband, Lonwabo Pongo. I can attest to this testimony that he just shared. For the past years, he has suffered from anxiety. He has experienced episode of anxiety. He always used to stay isolated, showing shame-based nature, being antisocial. And when we walk around town, these don't feel comfortable. He always wants to go home as soon as we get done in town. So it was a big problem for me. He is a perfect husband that I've always knew before all these changes came. I'd advise that let us have faith in God, and we must believe that God is in our lives. He's there for us. There is always power in praise. When you are in a spiritual battle, you must normalize to use the weapon of praise always. God is good all the time.
My advice to the viewers all over the world is really for us to ask God, God's grace, to help us to learn not to put our affairs above Him. And in reference to Proverbs 3, verse 5, we need to trust God with all of our hearts and not lean in our own understanding. So really, that's my advice to viewers all over the world.